paperwork speaks for itself.
It doesn't, you see, it doesn't make any sense at all with respect.
Oh.
It says this: the assignor is Ensign Limited and duly registered and validly existing under the laws of England.
The laws of England.
Just a moment. What is being assigned? An assignor assigns something. What is being assigned? Is anything being assigned?
That's my title, sir.
Well, you may use that
I've
title
sent
if you
it
wish.
to the Queen, the Archbishop, every head of state, sir, and I have had replies from them.
Good.
Okay. The reason why we're here today, sir, basically is just to try and get some clarification as to whether Her Majesty is sworn to her coronation oath, because she's not representing the people. I've got good fine men and women stood behind me that are not suffering, but they're not enjoying the way they're
Do you want me to have a look at this?
You can, sir.
What
And I
is
was
this?
wondering whether you could sign and seal my hand sworn affidavit, if you don't mind. Thank you.
No, I'm sorry. If you want an affidavit sworn, you must go to a commissioner for oaths, a solicitor.
Why is that, sir? You're representing natural law and natural justice.
I am not a commissioner for oaths, and I don't swear affidavits.
Okay. So, it's just a seal I want from Queen's Bench, sir. I just want a seal from Queen's Bench to say that it's a quote from Halsby's Law Dictionary that says administrative courts have no authority in England, and it's law.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not prepared to have anything to do with that. This is a court of law.
Yes, sir, and that's what we're here
Will you
for.
please just listen to me? We entertain claims against other people, against other companies, and so on.
Right.
We do not entertain documents that make little or no sense.
Well, they make
If you
sense
want
to me,
just,
sir.
well, I'm sorry, they don't make any sense to me.
Right.
If you want to try and explain it to me, you may. But I
I
asked you
am
what is
trying,
being
sir.
assigned. All right, tell me, just explain to me
I'm
what
not
it's all about.
familiar with legalese. I'm a common man, and common men want rights. We have rights. We have God-given rights, which we're being stripped of daily.
By whom?
The government, sir.
Well, in that case, you issue a
And
claim
we-
against the government department about which you have
Well,
a
but
complaint.
sir, you have
Pay the fee and we'll look into it.
The Queen
Or
is the
just-
font of
would you just-
justice.
Just a moment.
Okay, sir.
I suspect that what you're really after is writing to your member of parliament.
No, sir. I'm a man. I'm not on the electoral register, and I'm not a fictitious legal entity granted to me by government. I'm a man, a sovereign man, sir.
I beg your pardon, but I just don't understand that.
Well, government isn't the only way to be represented, is it?
I will hear you in a moment, sir. Will you please be quiet for the moment? Lord Witcher, you were addressing me.
Yes, sir. I was, and I'm just we the people. We are the people, and we just want natural justice to be upheld, and we want the Queen.
If you have a complaint about...
It's not a complaint, sir.
Well, in that case, you haven't got a claim. This court entertains claims by people.
Okay.
Now, I'm very sorry. I don't think I'm going to be able to help you.
Well, on that note,
Would you just wait for a moment?
I've got a claim that you keep on.
I will speak to you in a moment, sir. I'm talking to Lord Witcher at the moment. Now, if you don't have a claim, there's nothing... Please turn it off.
So
If you don't have a claim, there is nothing that can be done in this court. Thank you very much, Lord Witcher. Now, is there anyone else here who wants to address you?
Yeah, I have a claim. It keeps on getting sent back to me over an issue of money. Like you say,
Who is the defendant?
It's the police. Two people.
Which police?
Metropolitan.
Right. Have you got a claim form naming the defendant as the Commissioner of Police for the Metropolis?
I've got a claim form here, and I've got.
Can you have a look at it?
Yeah, there you go.
We haven't filled in any details.
That's because it's an application. I don't need to. I shouldn't have to apply for justice.
natural justice should be
I'm
free.
so sorry. Justice requires that the courts hear both sides. No,
So does justice require money?
No, just
You
listen
have
to
to
me.
pay for justice.
Just listen to me, please. You issue a claim form against the person who owes you money, as you allege.
Right.
Under what
That-
jurisdiction, sir?
I'm dealing with somebody else. I'll answer your question in a moment.
That's the crux
But
of what we're asking, sir.
I'm not listening to you, I'm listening to this gentleman.
Fair enough, I'll wait, sir.
I do not understand how you think that justice can be done by not hearing what the other party has to say. Now, the way that you bring the other party into court is to serve him with a claim form. Now, the law of the land requires that you pay a fee unless you are fee exempt. Now, if you're fee exempt, you fill in the proper forms and fee exemption will be given and you may issue your claim form and it will be considered.
Could you,
Thank you very much.
could you please tell me where in the law of the land it says that?
It says it in the court fees order. Thank
So
you.
Yeah, but
Well,
we
law.
abide by common law, the law
I'm
of the
so
land.
sorry, the law of the land,
Common law.
no, the law of the land is the statutes passed by Parliament,
Statutes and acts.
followed by common law, insofar as the common
Follow.
law is not overridden by statute.
So
Now,
why
that's-
don't it say
that's-
that in the Queen's coronation oath? Where does it say that in the Queen's coronation
I'm
oath? It says to
sorry,
uphold
I
and
have nothing
maintain the
to
laws
say
of
about
God.
it.
I'm getting robbed by the police over something that's been
Please
that's
see
given the
what-
green light on page 1 of the Bible.
Thank you very much. Anyone else want to say anything?
So under what jurisdiction is this court administering justice?
Under the Senior Courts Act 1980.
Is that under an admiralty or commercial jurisdiction?
It's under the Parliament Act.
Is
passed the
Parliament
Act.
being administered under a commercial jurisdiction?
No.
Well, our
I'm sorry,
understanding is-
I just don't recognise or understand. I don't think we're talking the same language.
All right, listen.
In natural law, and that is
Let's make it clear.
Hold on. Whoa. Look, they started talking to him, so just let him.
This is a master.
Look.
I'm trying to help
we,
you.
we
Now,
appreciate that, sir.
Will
We
you just
appreciate
listen to
that.
me,
Of
all
course.
of you,
Yeah.
please? This is the best that I can do for you. This court exists to do justice as we see it. If you don't think we're doing justice as you see it, then you must take it up with your
Sir,
Member of
The
Parliament.
courts are not giving justice or administering justice up and down the country.
Well, in that case, you go and see the Court of
Particularly-
Appeal or the
sir,
Supreme
If I
Court.
may finish, sir. It particularly in county courts, in magistrates' courts and crown courts, even the administrative court in this building, which is there to process judicial review claims. Many of us are following the route that's laid out in the civil procedure rules, and we're not getting no justice. We're not even being heard. We are being
No,
denied.
forgive
Sorry,
me.
sir,
When you
let me
talk
finish,
about
sir.
when you talk about we, are you talking about on behalf of all these people in here?
I'm talking about we, as in me, my family, and people here today
Who-
represent
including me.
themselves.
Against whom do you have a claim?
I have a claim against the Secretary of State for the Home
Issue
Department.
a claim form against
I've
him,
done
then.
all of that, sir. I've done all of that, and you
Go
had
to the
a
Court
you had a
of Appeal.
We're
master.
trying to
Sir,
access
if
the Queen's.
you had a
Queen's
master
privilege and
in this
Queen's
court, in the administrative court, that just at the stroke of a pen in a 30-minute hearing, which I wasn't even at, it's without merit. I've not had a hearing. You know, my wife,
Well, I can't
my,
do-
my property has been taken from me unlawfully by agents of the state. My car, my home has been violated, my wife has been kidnapped and shipped abroad by agents of the Home Secretary. I've not had the opportunity to be heard. I've been without my family for over a year.
Well,
Been
I
waiting on bail.
If
And
you-
I can't even speak to somebody in the High Court. And I really appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you